Hello, fellow RVers. Steve here with RV Site to Site. I appreciate you being here today. Arena and I have just bought this new 2024 Grand Design Reflection 337 RLS fifth wheel. And although it's one of the best fifth wheels out there, I still wanted to make a lot of changes to make it fit our needs. Now, before we get into it, though, let's roll that intro. Today I'm going to talk about 7 changes that I made to personalize this RV to fit our needs. I'm saving the best for last, so make sure that you stick around to the end, so to speak, for the change that is critical to us. Now, without this change, we would not be traveling, and that's how important it is to us. So let's get going. Number 1 is the valve that dumps the tanks. How many times have you donned your gloves, removed the cap, and a little to a lot of sewer water dumps out? You were not expecting it, and you were glad you had on your gloves. Stuff does happen, you know. So I found out this handy valve from Volterra connects to the end of the outlet pipe, and that'll prevent that accident from happening. Now make sure you position it like this so the weight of the valve pulls it down and it won't disconnect. Newer ones have this little clip to prevent it from accidentally coming undone. Now, number 2, I installed this MORROD tray. You can load it up. It has an 800-pound load rating. You can easily access anything in the middle since 60% of the tray is accessible from either side. In my case, I had to elevate the frame with these risers so that the tray would clear the lip on the access door on the driver's side. And because of that, I have room to store flatter items such as my tire plug set, a folding table, trays for miscellaneous small parts, door mats, and other odds and ends. I even have a folding 5-step ladder under the tray now. Now, number 3, the 30-foot long 50-amp cable is really cumbersome and heavy to put up. So I installed this electric MORROD cable reel to make that job easier. I bought a short length of 1x1 aluminum angle at Lowe's, cut it into 2 pieces, and then I positioned the reel and angles on a block to hold it in place while I screwed everything in place. Now here's the finished installation. It took me a while to find a 12-volt power source, and I finally found it here. It's on one of the slide controllers. This is marked battery positive and ground. I tapped into that line and it worked for me. I'm not suggesting that you do it that way, but so far it's worked for me. The reel works great. I finished the job by putting the wiring in wire loom split tubing and zip tied it out of the way. Number 4, these beautiful recliners have these annoying cup holders with lights and vibrators and heat functions. That's all well and good. However, it's nearly impossible to get up out of the recliner without turning on one or more of these functions. Then you have to figure out what button or buttons were hit so that you can turn them off. And that's like working a difficult puzzle. So I added this triple plug adapter that's remote controlled. Now I can have the cup holder functions either on or off. And speaking of the recliners, the backs are rather short, so if you have the footrest up, your head is in an uncomfortable position for watching TV. So I ordered these neck rest pillows to put on the recliners. Now, all right, let's head to the bedroom. This unit came with a king bed. To me, the room looks off balance with the bed squeezed to the left and an end table on the right. I'm pretty much OCD, and I like things balanced. So I took the mattress off, sawed off the left side of the plywood platform, built a matching end table for the left, centered a headboard, moved our nice queen mattress out of our old camper, and voila, a beautiful balanced bedroom. Now, there was no TV in the bedroom, so I wanted one. And the place to mount it was indicated way down here, and the connections are on the ceiling. I didn't want ugly wires hanging down the wall, but the mounting plywood behind the paneling doesn't go up high enough, so I reinforced the side wall of the cabinet and mounted the TV bracket here. Okay, let's get into that most important change for me. This is the Lux Bidet Neo 120. When I installed the first bidet on our toilets at home, my family laughed at me. However, they quit laughing once they started using a bidet. Now most of them won't go anywhere without one. In fact, when they have to stay at a hotel, my daughter and her husband take one with them, and then they install it temporarily on the commode at the hotel. It's easy to do, especially on a standard toilet. You'll use very little water, about a quart when you use the bidet, and almost no toilet paper, just pat dry. This is a perfect solution for the black tank woes. Here's a video on how I installed mine. A lot of you have asked, how do I install a bidet in an RV? Well, we recently bought this Grand Design fifth wheel Reflection 337 RLS. It had this Thetford toilet in it, which I hate, that square looking top on it. And then it has this thing at the back, and when you flush it, the water comes out here and kind of rinses the bowl, but it doesn't get the surface all around there. And so I just do not like it. So I do like the Dometic 320, which is a more residential feel toilet. And so I went down to Camping World and picked one up. It was pretty reasonable, especially with the discount that you get if you sign up. And it's just a really nice porcelain bowl toilet, and the bidet fits on it great. And so let's get started on that. Well, the first thing we ought to do is remove a Thetford toilet, and we'll start with removing this thing here. And this is the inlet, the water inlet. I didn't turn that valve off, but I suggest you do. I did turn the water off, and so just loosen that up until it comes loose. You might want to put a towel under there. I was pretty sure I didn't have any water coming out. So, okay, the next thing we do is remove this cap here on both sides, and sometimes they're a little hard to get off, so you might want to use a screwdriver to pop that thing right off. And then you find your correct wrench. I think it's a number 12 or number 13 there. Unloosen it until you can do it with your hands. And then once you get that, once you both sides of it, you go ahead and remove the commode. And I set it right on the floor there because it's a brand new commode, never been used. And so there it is, removed. And I cleaned it up around the sawdust and stuff from the factory, actually. I did this right here. This is artist putty. I put this on here to kind of hold those bolts in place. That was actually my wife Renee's idea. I thought it was a really good one. And so that'll just press right on down under the seal there, no problem. Bring the new commode in, which is that Dometic 320. And you position that carefully over the bolts there, and once you get it situated directly over the bolts, you set it down and you begin tightening it down, it takes a little bit there, and get both sides, try to tighten those up equally on both sides. And then once you get it kind of snug, you want to snug it on down a little bit, and but make sure that you do not over tighten or you'll crack that base. Okay, and so there we have the commode in place and ready to go. Now, unfortunately, this is not going to work. This is the one that comes in it. This is a 1/2 by 7/8 by 7/8. What you're going to need is this, which is a 1/2 by 1/2 by 1/2. And this will make it work. Also, the thing that comes in the package, the little tube that comes with the package, is not nearly long enough. So you're going to have to get another one that is longer, or at least in my case. Maybe not in your case. And I can't remember what length this is. I'll put it down below so that you can order it. And the same thing about this, I'll put a link below. Everything else should work. Okay, I have everything put together like it's going to mount. I've got the little adapter there, the elbow, and it follows the little tubing, and comes down to this connector here, and this part here will go on the commode, and this will go to the thing that comes out of the wall. Okay, the bidet will go on like this, and these will be adjusted right here to right there, pretty much like that. So now we'll get the toilet seat and mount it. Alright, the toilet seat is mounted just like any other toilet seat with the 2 bolts, and on this particular one, after I tightened it down a little bit, I pulled the seat forward a little bit. The main thing is to make sure that the bidet is centered in the very, very center of the commode, and you're all set to go, and I hope that you enjoy the experience. Now, I'll leave the links in the description below where you can purchase most of these items on Amazon. Okay, there you have it. I hope some of this was helpful to you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing and hit that notification bell if you would like to be notified when I post another video. Until the next time, may the Lord bless and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace.